also I really wanted to draw their logo. I went with Sentinels for the win. Please do not flame me, EMEA. I love all of you
Flame
dearly.
him.
I might need a close-up for mine just because it's writing, but
What does it say?
Just show it.
I have no biases here, but it's just straight up who I think is going to win. I'm bat
Bat-
chesting out of my mind.
You're bat
Sentinel's
chesting.
gonna take
All
it.
right, we need some good, honest balance on this desk because this is gonna be a giga banger. Two super teams.
Yes.
I favor Fnatic.
What does
They
that
have
say?
the core. Says I. Dude, we need to bring back teaching cursive in school because this is abysmal.
What
but it
is
says I
this?
heckin' love Tenz.
I heckin' love
You
Tenz.
have Fnatic. Okay, you make
I
no
still
sense.
heckin'
love
love Tenz, even
Boaster.
if I think Fnatic is gonna win.
That's
Oh
fine.
man! All right,
Still heckin' love Tenz.
guys. I hope you're
Booster
ready
for the win,
because
baby.
this is going to be a great match. I hope everyone just takes a moment to breathe this one in because you don't get it all the time. It's time to start this show and find out who survives another round. Korea or Brazil, Durka or Tenz. It's
Durka
going to be
or
a
Tenz.
heckin' great
Iko
day
re.
of Valorant. And folks, lock in. Day 9 starts right
chonka.
now.
क्या
इको हो रहा है हल्का सा हो रहा था अभी नहीं हो रहा था क्या लग रहा है क्या सीन
I heckin' love Tenz.
hacking left hands no bro
I heckin' love Ben Tenz. Sun Tenz, Ben Tenz.
मेरे को लग रहा है अल्फा जर बहुत कूद आने वाला है ऐसा फील आ रहा है
The day I started playing Valorant,
मैं सुना कि
I first fought Ben
मैं-
10.
मैं सुना कि टेंस ये क्या बोलते हैं इसको क्या सुना टेंस ड्यूलिस्ट नहीं खेल रहा है सुना
अरे कुछ भी खेलेगा तू देख.
मेरी बात छोड़ो हाँ उसको
हाँ
छोड़ो
हाँ.
सबसे पहले तुमने टेंस को देखना चालू किया सबसे पहले
Yes bro, I heckin' love Tenz.
मैंने तो सबसे पहले रॉसी को देखा था भाई
Valorant इंट्रोड्यूस ही मेरे से मतलब 10 खेल रहा था तो मैंने देखा तो फिर मेरे को Valorant पता चली कि ये गेम है. ओके ब्रो.
देख ये लोग बिंग्स वॉच पार्टी बिंग्स वैलोरेंट वगैरह पर मेरे को स्पोर्ट्स का नहीं मालूम था फिर मैं एक दिन ऐसे रॉसी के स्ट्रीम पे गया बारिश चालू था दोपहर का टाइम तो दोपहर को मैं घर पे चिल करा तो
ओ
ऐसे एक दिन
भाई.
रॉसी पे गया तो तब से भाई रॉसी का अलग ही फैन हो गया भाई
अच्छा मैं ऐसे तू जैसे रॉसेज है ना ऐसे मैं 10 का हूँ.
मेरे को
I heckin' love
तो मेरे को
Tenz.
ये 2001 जो वो लोग टूर्नामेंट जीते ना वो तब से मालूम पड़ा वो
नहीं
टेंस
मेरे
वाला
को
सिस्टम
Valorant 10 के थ्रू ही पता चला मेरे को.
अच्छा वॉक इन भाई आजकल वॉक इन भी बहुत लेट कर रहे हैं लोग सब आया देखा अपन
आया,
नाम
आया.
लिया वैसे वॉक इन आया
2 मिनट लेट है फिर भी. रुक मैं मोबाइल लेके आया चार्ज में था.
हाँ ले क्या बूस्टर बेबी बूस्टर लेट्स फकिंग गो उसका डालेंगे अपन सैसी पैन कड़ा जेकन टेंस आवाज करूँ क्या थोड़ा सा रोने का टेंस
ओ Ben 10.
बेंटेंस आया तेरा बेंटेंस डर के मिस्टेक ने छोड़ दिया
अरे एक प्लेयर Valorant वो एक प्लेयर कोविड पॉजिटिव निकला Fnatic वालों का.
कौन
लियो
तो स्टेज पे नहीं आएगा
नहीं
घर
ये देख बॉस्टर.
ये सुनता ही नहीं है भाई ये सुनता ही नहीं है
हमें कुछ ना कुछ नया ही करता है चोमतिया. जैकन बच्चा ही है तो भाई छोटा 16 साल का.
कौन
ये जैकन
16 साल का है
हाँ तो
क्या ये भगा रहा है
स्कूल में जो छुट्टी लेके आता है तेरे को मालूम है वो.
अबे ये चश्मे वाला छोटा है 16 साल का है
हाँ तो वो स्कूल में जो छुट्टी लेके आता है टूर्नामेंट खेलने के लिए.
क्या क्या फेंक रहा है तू
अरे सही में एज देख ले जा ऑनलाइन एज देख ले जो बीच में खड़ा है ना वो ये दूसरा देख लेफ्ट साइड से दूसरा एकदम छोटा छोटा है देखना अभी
सबसे बटला एडिडास का
हाँ।
ट्रैक पहना
बच्चा है अभी तो
इतना
छुट्टी लेके
भरोसा
आता है मैं बोलता रहा छुट्टी लेके आता है.
इतना भरोसा दिखा टीम
अरे भाई वो एक्साइट में था ना क्या भरोसा क्या
17 साल
खेला
का
हुआ
है
है वो.
17 साल का है
हाँ तो मतलब 16 का हुआ होगा.
2015 का भाई वो मेरे पहले विजिट किया
Now
विजिट
we've got
फक
new players, a new meta, new X
Fuck, man, fuck.
They're back on stage again, and this time only one of them can continue with their tournament live.
And it's such a shame to have to lose somebody here right off the rip between these two, but it just hopefully means that they're going to be fighting tooth and nail because
boy.
they do not want to go home.
This is, you know what? To quote, and I make this
Leo
reference
बेचारा
all the time,
COVID
but to quote
positive
one of the
निकला.
greatest commentators in professional wrestling, good old JR Jim Ross. This is going to be
Chronicle danger है भाई.
Okay, this
हाँ भाई,
genuinely could
खतरनाक
not
है वो
be
भी.
the most
Clutcher है वो,
fun
clutcher.
matchup.
माँ
Yes,
की
yes,
आँख.
I know, bro.
Entire bracket, it feels as if we're
क्या map
witnessing,
पिटो क्या है?
the main
आएगा ना?
event, and this is just our first match of the day.
It is wild to see. We have the map beaters already coming in.
Ball
That
ban.
will get rid of Pearl off the start. Sentinels showed some of that in the offseason. Tends to be a very strong map for a lot of North
Icebox.
American
मेरे को
teams.
मालूम था
Except
सैन वाले यही
Sentinels.
सेंटिनल वाले
Icebox
यही
has
बैन
always been
करेंगे.
Fnatic's best.
Yep, I mean, also that exit court quite
Haven
good for
भाई.
Earls.
Yeah.
Seconds is
Heaven,
over to
baby,
Beyond,
Heaven.
incredible, but Fnatic with the first selection.
Haven में तो
Attack
एक ही
close,
कॉम्प है
attack
भाई
close,
अभी
yeah,
यार.
attack.
Something that we
भाई
Haven में
Zombs
एक ही
को
कॉम्प
क्यों
चलता
बिठा दिया
है.
इन लोग
maybe
ने?
not the last couple days of Omega, but
Sure.
over in the alpha bracket especially.
Joms को?
a hell of a lot of hate.
वो
Zombs
तो
6-6-6,
कब
sorry,
Earls are
6-6.
going for split.
This makes a
सीख
lot of
अरे
sense.
यार
Rewind the
वो
clock
बीच में
and
जो
set
लास्ट
back
ईयर था ना
themselves in the pool.
उसका कुछ
That was
फैमिली
one of the
फैमिली
best
का
ballers
इशू
on
था
this map.
फिर
That
उसका कुछ
helps
मेंटली भी
them
वो थोड़ा लो
They're
था
implementing new
तो वो
tricks.
खुद बेंच हुआ था
New
तभी
roster, but I
और
still
तभी
feel
इन
it's
लोगों ने
not
थोड़ी नई टीम बनाई तो अभी अचानक कहाँ से लेंगे समझा हाँ वो इन था पहले वो तो एक नंबर प्लेयर है लेकिन उसकी फैमिली प्रॉब्लम चल रही थी वो मेंटली भी उसका ब्रेकअप भी हुआ था वो मेंटली भी थोड़ा लो था तो पूरा 6-7 महीने नहीं खेला वो खुद नहीं खेला अभी वो टाइम पे इन लोगों ने टीम बनाई अभी फिर क्या करेंगे ऐसा होगा ना समझा
I think we're going the distance.
One can only hope. The unfortunate
वो
thing
सीन हुआ
about
था
this
नहीं
is
तो
that
सीख
Exo
भाई
Fnatic
सीख तो एक
have
नंबर प्लेयर है
matches such as
वही
Energy versus
पता है
Loud.
वो
बहुत
बड़े
मारता
एकदम
है,
हाइटेड है
बहुत
वही ना वो
They're going to be gigabangers on paper.
वो
हाँ,
सीखे वही है
heighted.
शायद
Surely
हाँ,
deserve
हाँ,
still,
वही
but
है.
this
Heighted
one
है.
doesn't.
Prime Gaming
नहीं
agents
जो
locked on
मतलब
us
दोनों
recently.
सेम
Like,
एकदम
काइंड
बड़ा
ऑफ
एकदम ज्यादा हाइटेड है रे वो
He's
सिक
been
शायद
switching up roles.
हाँ है
He's
हाइटेड है वो
flexing around and letting Zekin be the primary duelist. Does
कौन
that
सा मैप है
continue?
हेवन है ना
Ooh, what's Alpha gonna play?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, he's always been an incredibly flexible individual. Probably the
Says
Sentinel.
he the
He's back
IGL.
on his kill
Okay.
drone. That makes
सोवा
sense.
ने
But
लिया
what about
व्हाट द
Tenz?
फक
He gets the jet on this one. It's a flip-flop from what we saw at the LTI.
Jet
अभी
versus
ये
Jet,
एक ही
Dirk
कॉम चल
versus
रहा
Tenz. I mean,
है
he
हेवन
really
में
has to start the series
Jet.
off in a better fashion.
बता ना
2021 Iceland.
हाँ
He
ये
ended the
सेंटिनल वालों ने
series.
थोड़ा चेंज किया
And
नहीं
it
तो
was-
ब्रीज
it was
सोवा
Sentinels who took
ओमन
that one home in a Tenz
किल
versus
जो
Solar
एंड
matchup.
जेट
We give
ये
the edge
यही
to
कॉम
Jet v. Jet.
किल जो की जगह वो रहता है साइफर किल जो बाकी सेम ही कॉम रहे ये फेनेटिक वालों का गेम सेम ही है
Cloutcasters? Actually, I would say Clout Chasers. Here's Brennan Sideshow.
लेट्स गो बेंटेंस सेंटेंस
नहीं
Let's
बूस्टर
get
बेबी
to it. This
बूस्टर
match right here is going to be something special because it's North America versus EMEA.
Prediction क्या
Sentinels
क्यों?
versus
2-0.
Fnatic, an
2-0
matchup.
2-0
Josh,
2-1
like
Fnatic के
Tenz was
फेवर
saying, the last time
2-0
these two
Sentinel.
faced off was so
Let's
long
see,
ago.
let's
देखते
see.
हैं आज बच्ची
आज
टेंस
अपन
क्या करता
दोनों
है आज
सामने हैं
Grand
टेंस
final.
देखते हैं बच्ची क्या करता है आज
यस यस यस
देखना
यस
है
यस
Different paths to
लेट्स
get
गो
here. And
लेट्स
yet,
फकिंग गो भाई लेट्स फकिंग गो
2023, both
फेवरेट
Fnatic
कौन है वन
and
में
Sentinels
Fnatic
tried to
favorite
form
है
super teams.
आ वो
heading
जो
into
भी
the
है वो
competition.
नहीं, मैं
फेवरेट
बोल रहा हूँ,
And I think
फेवरेट
betting
most
पे
particularly,
Fnatic
but
favorite
also
दिखा रहा है
Steph on
सबको
the other side,
अच्छा अच्छा
it's a hunt for a trophy, and one team must go home. What do they have cooked up for us to start things out on Haven?
चालू हो गया
हाँ हुआ तेरे में नहीं हुआ
Bit of a
नहीं
playground for
मैं
the
कुछ और कर रहा
IGLs.
था यूट्यूब
Maybe
पे
that's part of the reason why Fnatic
second.
ended up opting into this one, but not messing
Decide
around
लिया
already.
आपने
That
जरा.
Trailblazer
अब
just
क्या,
going
Tenz.
deep into the site, and Tenz was
Booster,
following that
baby,
one, but he
let's
was shut down in the middle of all of this.
go.
This looks like a fast play now. Just trying to make their way
What speed
through
में
into
खेल रहे हैं
Garage.
क्या?
Going to be potentially bogged down by all this
हाँ,
utility,
हाँ,
but there
ये
was a
bug हुआ?
flash in play
Bug
just to
हुआ, मैं
push
भी-
them back and away. Fnatic already
Booster
claiming
रुक रहा
two
हूँ।
Booster baby 2K.
kills.
यस
It's up to Sentinels now to scramble,
बहुत
try and
जल्दी
salvage
round
what they
खेले।
can out of the round. A bit of damage done to Chronicle, but right now just biding their time, waiting it out.
कल हम लोग क्या लीक्स दे रहे थे ना देखो 30 हम लोग के फोन में 30-40 सेकंड पहले आ रहा था हम लोग लीक्स दे रहे थे उधर बैठ
No
के
pressure anywhere else, and Dirk has walked
चिल्ला रहा था
down
ना
mid.
पहले मैप में तो
He knows
मचा
that the
दिया हम
spike
लोग
is
उधर
dropped. He knows they're all contained
Directly.
inside
लास्ट
the
मैप में
garage.
पुलिस आई थी बाहर रोड
This
पे
should
तो
be
इसके लिए फिर
Fnatic
चिल्ला रहे थे
easily
लास्ट
cleaning
मैप
up.
Yep, they know exactly what's going on here. Sheriff in a
Bug
ये
हो
hand.
रहा है
बग क्यों हो रहा है ये वॉचर के लिए हो रहा है
Lovely damage down onto them, and
Right through the wall, that's 3 kills
ये
in the
जो
round
वो
for Durka. What a
spectator
way
कर
to
रहा है
set
ना,
things up, and
उसके
nobody
लिए हो रहा है
dropping
बस।
on the side of Fnatic.
लियो
That's
खेल
a
रहा है ना,
prime
लियो,
gaming
हाँ।
flawless.
ये अल्फा
We're
जब
going to be
रेस
keeping
खेलता ना
track
क्यों?
of Durka v Tenz throughout
हाँ।
this entire map.
अच्छा
But
कोई
I
आ
want
गया
to
अभी
see
जेट
Tenz a bit
डर्ट
of
गेट
veil
पे तो
here.
वो
This is a
खट्टा
pretty
सा
normal pathing actually on a pistol round.
Read
मेरे को
था।
बोल रहा हूँ
A lot of
लेफ्टी
teams
खेलना
do
चालू
it.
कर लेफ्टी में
He
कुछ
looks
तो
a
है
bit
नहीं,
भाई।
नहीं,
silly,
मेरे को
sure,
नहीं चलता,
but I
नहीं
don't think there's
चलता।
मैं
anything
बोल
wrong
रहा
with
हूँ
his decision making.
जमा भाई जमा
It is the
Read
lowest
मत
round
जाइए।
strat where Tenz is
मैं
very
खुद
alone.
right ही हूँ,
He
वो
just
कहाँ
needs
से
to
left
dive
खेले?
in and hope that there aren't
मैं
a
भी
couple of
राइट
people at back B
मतलब
for a
मेरा
C
दोनों है
pinch.
ऑलराउंडर में लेफ्ट राइट दोनों भाई।
So definitely a planned pistol round strategy for Sentinels, but the reaction was very good from Fnatic. And they strike the first blow. No force buy, nothing crazy happening here. And Sassy loading up his ultimate.
Yes. हाँ, ठीक।
I do think it's really interesting though, Bren, that Sassy is
Oh
playing
ho
the
ho,
Sky
Vandal
here.
बोलते।
When you think
Ben
about
Kada.
Sentinels, you're expecting Sassy to be the
पैन
safe
ने
pair
एफएन
of
सामने बहुत
hands.
मारा।
The guy
Optic के
that's a
सामने।
veteran, king of
मालूम है पैन
initiators,
कार्ड और
safest
चैसी
player
नहीं
in the game.
मोस्ट राउंड जीते।
ओ पैन।
Just able to really pick up the pieces when things go wrong, but
Yeah, and having him on Sky instead of on Breach, it's a really aggressive comp from Sentinels, and I think it's going to ask Sassy to get really involved in the fighting.
yeah,
And that's unusual to me. I would expect
Oh.
Sassy and Zeken's roles to be swapped.
it is an interesting one, isn't it?
Ding, down, 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 down,
Breach
down,
often
down,
time is
down,
going to be that
down.
third player into the fight most of the time.
By the way, I mean, Durka is just farming up so many of these kills that
He's
he's
already
up,
got his ult.
yeah, he's up to his ultimate already, so
Yeah.
the economy could not be in a better spot for Fnatic. They've also got a bunch of rifles heading into this round anyway, so
दोनों राउंड फ्लॉलेस निकाला
again, I
मैं।
think they're going to let Sentinels set the pace. Sometimes on a bonus round, you'll see the defending team do something really
अमेरिका
aggressive.
रीजन टीम सर कर दिया
Fnatic were
डिफरेंट
known
हेवन वाज
for
इजी
pushing down into A lobby pretty heavy on the defense, but
ये
Sentinels
मैप
comp
में
should be
ब्रीच
setting
आया
the
ना,
tempo.
तब से बीटी चालू हुई है।
लाइनअप तो है
Rifles across the
लाइनअप तो
board
है
for Fnatic, so they manage their economy
Armor
well enough
गया
that
ना
they're going to be
Durka का।
even in terms of those weapons against Sentinels.
Durka's feeling it.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the Dash active right now, looking to try and take an early fight. He sees the head. What is that? Rolling
One
back
Dev
the
मारा।
years with that one, Dev.
क्या शॉट मारा भाई वो।
Straight through the wall. I mean, just a little juggle and a shot. That's all it took. Trailblazer now going to be trying to
What a
make his way
great,
through
what a
Garage,
great
but-
nano swarm.
Yeah, it
That
breaks
nano-
it, right?
It does. It breaks any kind of utility that is channeled. So if you've got a Sova, it breaks the
भाई
drone.
ये
If it's
स्कूल
you know,
की छुट्टी
Sassy
लेके
there,
मैच खेलने के लिए।
Trailblazer.
हाँ, तो टूर्नामेंट
मेरे भाई
That
को बोल
allows
रहा
Althea to keep his
हूँ।
turret up. They don't spam
17
through the
साल का
wall,
वो।
so map control advantage
Sentinels
to
में।
Fnatic, but they're still 4v5.
उन लोग के पास
सबसे
लीड
छोटा
है।
अभी वही है फिर
That this is
बॉय
ending
16
it.
भी है और
With a stack in the
I
play that
think
they've
तो
got
यही
currently,
होगा।
making sure that
पिछले साल तो
the
16
rest
सा
is
था,
watchful. Look at
अभी
that
17 का
crossfire. I
हुआ।
mean, they've just got so many layers to this.
पिछले
पिछले
साल
साल
भी
को
खेले
कौन
था।
सी टीम के लिए खेला था
Leo
एक्सेट
pretty heavily
Yes.
committed at short.
Yeah.
जिधर आयरन
Quite
खेला था
wide. It's going to be a fault line. Now to stun as well, so Leo can't see too much. Does have that dart, but does he want to use it? Aftershock into the corner, a bit of spam. Just finds his targets.
Wow.
Beaming them down, and
Wow.
it's pure instinct play. 3 kills
ट्रेड
from
पे
Leo.
ट्रेड पे
He
ट्रेड
was
हुआ।
just anchoring that position. But it is down to Alfie in this 1v2. Spike gets planted, finds the kill. Smoke dissipating
अरे
at just the
निकाल-
wrong time for
निकाल
Zekken.
लिया उसने टेंस में
And now he's backing away. Tenz holding close to the angle on Graffiti, and he just found it anyway.
टेंस
Right to the side there. Ever so slide off angle to get that one.
जेट
So
को
Sentinels
पॉपुलर
are on the
करने
board,
वाला
but they did
टेंस।
end up losing
सब रेड
4 of their
स्किन
players in that
लगा
round.
हाँ तो
Yeah,
रेड
it's damaging
उसको
to
रेड
the
बॉस
economy for
बोलते हैं।
sure. But I
तेरे को
think
मालूम है वो
with
कलर ब्लाइंड है।
Durka being dominant in the first couple
मतलब
of rounds,
उसको
Tenz is
सब
कोई
रेड
able to
दिखाई
fight
दे
it back.
नहीं 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 ऐसा नहीं कोई कोई कलर
The
में
heroics from
मालूम
Leo
नहीं
are
चलता
incredible here, and
ऐसा
he's definitely a player to keep an eye on. But
सब कलर
what
नहीं
we
कोई
didn't
कोई
spot
कलर
was that the actual sighted
और
itself
उसका
was
रेड कलर फेवरेट है
Tenz was
इधर को
able
वॉच
to
पार्टी
get all
कितने
of
से
that
है अपना
utility and
देख
push
साला
forwards.
अरे वो
I
तो
thought the
अंडर
economy
अंडर
would be
से ही
looking good
होगा
here for Fnatic, but they're choosing not to commit off the back of Durka's knives. They must have bought up a little too much. Not something that I had realized looking
पैर
at
रखने
round
की जगह
three.
नहीं चाहिए
I
इतनी
thought they were
जगह
going for a
कर दी थी
bonus.
बहन
Yeah, it looked that way, didn't it? Had enough
उन्होंने
spare
बाद में
cash
शुरू
maybe
डाला
to
जो
make
जो
the purchase,
ऑन रोड
but like we said earlier, Durka built up to these blade storms.
मतलब
Wasn't able to get too
अरे
much done there.
हाउसफुल हो
In
गया था
fact,
ना पूरा
I think
वो
the
वाली
dash
ना
that he
हल,
activated,
हल।
it does
हाँ,
fade
कल की
away.
बात बोला
क्या
जो
बोला
अभी
था?
ऑन द वे है प्लीज मत आओ
Slow
पूरा
and
फुल हो
steady
गया
is
देख
the
बग
game
हुआ
plan
फिर से
for both of these sides.
ये इको अच्छा इको
Durka's
बाय
making a bit of a read here that the play's going over towards C. And you can see that both teams are kind of
Tenz
mirrored in
बनेगा
terms of
ये
their
round में
rotations.
देखना।
Durka's got a nice idea about it. Maybe Def's going to try
Feel आ
and
रहा
create a bit of pressure in B, but this is ending with a C split, and they're going straight into the shorty. Durka with a bit of revenge.
टाइमिंग देख
Kill to find Javier. Oh my goodness. Just walked away from the door for about a
वो
moment.
कब
Could have
से
found
खड़ा
an
था
easy kill
बेचारा
with a
वो?
shorty, but
पीछे
he
का
will
टाइम
fall. Now a
वही
lot of
वही
flashes
वही
just being committed into the back of the site. site. Clears that one down. It's going to be a plant as well without too many problems.
अरे मेरा
Still
load
chipping
हुआ.
them forwards, but Tenz is quite isolated now. He's holding the back of the side by himself, and that fight at the flank was imperative. Durka wins it out. A little bit strained in its approach. Tenz with the updraft play. Aftershock as well. Leo just trying to trade it out, swinging through, and Tenz still claims 3. Down to Durka now. Another dash that's come online here, right into the smoke to cut up the crosshair placement. That gives him a good idea of where these players are, but again, just a battle taking place. Tries to spray it down, and that jet head-to-head just manifesting itself in the round.
The desk hyped it up.
Tenz
as
को
Tenz
तूने
versus
खुला कर दिया
Durka.
ना तो वो
And that
दौड़ता
is
ही
how
रहेगा
these
इधर-उधर.
compositions work. All of the utility is going to be
Full
used to
W
set
player है यार
Tenz
वो
and
ये.
Durka up on the best fights
मतलब full
possible.
W
And
player
you're
है
just
ये.
seeing them clash. They're not necessarily taking the duels against
उसको
each other
खाली इतना
early in the
बोलना है
round.
कि
They're massacring
जाके
everybody
मारता
else
रहे.
before they finally meet
आ गया.
in the 1v1.
आया ही
हाँ
नहीं.
That's
क्या बात कर
another
रही है?
quite expensive
Same in
round
here.
for Sentinels, but it's on the board at 2 apiece. Light armor for
Yeah.
everybody on Fnatic, and an operator in Durka's hand. He explores down mid as Tenz takes an early face into A long. But this looks awkward for Durka.
Oh,
Deep
operator
push,
time,
slide
bro.
angle. And he's burning his dash at the
ये
beginning
Durka
of
को
every
देख.
one of these rounds.
नहीं
Difficult start there.
Okay,
Pushing
okay.
him away from that angle now while all this was going on as well. It was a bit of a slow burn now for Sentinels as they are just trying to make sure that they get a bit of
Easy,
space to
but
make
go
sure. This Trailblazer up close. Leo,
This is so advanced from Leo.
yeah, he's there. He doesn't really have anybody watching his back, but Fnatic are committing a lot of players here to the site. You can see this, and the Rolling Thunder's going to be catching them actually. Leo going to be caught. Flash play, and well, the Knight's just not good in that kind of position, but Boaster was isolated. Now a drone. Fault line as well cuts across, and Durka's still there, holding the angle at heaven. He knows what his players are, and he will find them time and time again. One after the other, but Sentinels will answer back. It's just down to Sassy. Positioning, I believe, known.
रिवर फांटे में चला
Get
रहे
reinforcements as Alfie is going to be rejoining him at Heaven. Spike out in the open now. Will he get an easy fight? Just trying to isolate one of them, but no. Jiggle of the positioning. Leo doesn't give away too much now. 28 seconds left in this round. Time starting to get burnt, and now he knows where the second player is. That's one broken. Just trying to isolate one of these fights, and well, the warbang angle Alfie here.
ओ भाई.
Just about grabbing that kill.
ये लोग
I think Boaster's kill
क्या,
onto
क्या?
Tenz
वैन कड़ा उधर अच्छा
really
खेला इसके
seals
ऑफर
the
देना.
deal for it.
हाँ.
He's not favored in that
अच्छा
situation. Breach ulted up, and you know Tenz also not taking the most favorable duel in the world. It was really
हाँ, वही.
messy between the two of them. There's a missed fault line too for Durka to be able to grab the kill on the second. And I think Def should have swung before Durka got a second. Maybe slightly miscoordinated from Sentinels, allowing openings for the Fnatic players. But this is really back and forth. But this is where you now see, Bren, the economic damage that was done earlier, because Sentinels only lose one round and they're dropped down to an eco.
So left to stew and think about what they really want to be doing in this round here. Looks like they are just trying to slowly push towards the B side. Trailblazer gets a decent amount of information. Dash forwards by Tenz there. That's just trying to even get this plant down as an aftershock. So Tenz, yeah, is going to be paying for that one with his life. A bit of, again, spam from the Phantoms at play. Tap onto the spike. Post-plant positions being played here by Sentinel. It's going to take a miracle for them to just get much else with it. Yeah, a bit of jumping and running and gunning from Leo. But already the spike just being stuck through all of this pressure. They didn't have the weapons or the util to be able to push them back, but ultimately the goal of Sentinels there was to just try and get a couple of kills, maybe as well, that plan.
हाँ बोल बोल.
What they have done though is
अभी
fed
हुआ
the
था.
Fnatic
उनका ही
ult
बग
economy.
चल रहा है.
So Chronicle's got his ult
ये
online.
देखना वो
Leo now with
मेरे
Hunter's
को वो
Fury too.
देखना. हाँ
And that
ग्लिच
means
देखना है
that
ना.
this round
ग्लिचिंग
coming up,
ग्लिचिंग
round 7, is going
हाँ
to be
लिख रहे हैं
massive.
chat में.
I think a lot of ults
Laggy,
are going to
bro.
get used, and if Sentinels lose it, they're back down onto another eco. This is a must-win round for Sentinels, I think, in order to get the first half off to a good start. Alpha, yeah, by the way, has picked up the operator now, over on C.
And a deep dash from Durka. He's not wasting any time, is he? Has a deep dart as well, a set play, but Tekken up close and personal within the cloud burst.
ऐसा कुछ न्यूज़ है वैभव कि
But a pincer attack as well. Boaster was trying to make the most of the
वालों
chaos.
ने यही को
Pushed up into,
I
oh
think
my
दिखा
goodness, into
रहा है.
A lobby, and
मतलब
he's even finding
पता नहीं
the
फेक
kills of his
न्यूज़
own,
है या
potentially no. Ends up going down before he could claim the second. The
क्लाउड
trade
नाइन वाले
was
यही
there.
को I think बेंच कर रहे हैं.
क्या बोलते हैं ऐसा
The
नहीं होता है
timing's
क्या?
so messy there from
मालूम
Fnatic.
नहीं अभी चल
I
रहा
understand that
है.
it's a
I
set
think
play,
ऐसा है
but
कि
Sentinels had a lot of windows
ऑप्टिक की जो
with
मेन
which to
लाइनअप है
reinforce
वो
their
फिर
position.
से बैठने वाली है. I
Alpha,
think.
yeah, missing that shot.
मतलब ये एनर्जी जाएगा.
Got missed though, so not stunned up. He can afford to just
मालूम नहीं अभी
retake this
ऐसा सब
angle and
हो
just
रहा
on the
है
armor def.
अभी फेक चल रहा है
Giving him just not a pistol, but now you're going to see
अभी फेक चल रहा है कि
already pushing
वो चल
through
रहा है
this one
अभी
with the
वो तो
rolling
नहीं
thunder. The
मालूम
ultimate to try and clear it away, and the players had to vacate. Sentinels trapped in the cubby, and Alfie has got that line of sight angle. Watch for once more.
ग्रीच
But the
बीटी है भाई ये
spike
मैप में
handed over to Pancada. He's got his ultimate, so he's going to be able to get a free plant now onto A.
1v3. Can he do it? He's got a lot of time to threaten a
1v2
reposition.
होता तो थोड़ा
He's gonna
बिलीव होता
smoke both.
1v3 हार्ड है
I quite like
अनलेस
it.
एंड अंटिल वो लोग आगे ना
Really
देखना
smart.
तीनों तीन
He's
अलग अलग क्यों आ
a
रहे हैं
bunch of misinformation into it, but this fight now by Leo, meeting him into short.
चल दो लोग
It's
साथ में
massive
हो
First
गए
kill.
It's massive. Takes it down on a
ये
1v2,
glitch.
but he's given away.
भाई ये क्या
What
पहन
is
काला
that?
भाई
Chronicle so far ahead of his teammate. There's no trade in sight from Alfia. Not a paranoia. Waiting for the tap of the spike. And there it is. Rips his way across a full blind. Another tap from Alfia, but still biting, waiting. Smoke ready and waiting. Wide swings it, but Alfia so calm and patient in the clutch.
Really big round from Alfia. After he missed that opening op shot, I thought it was game over for Fnatic. But he comes through and recovers. Perhaps you could argue that round should never have been that close. With Pancada, an opportunity to hit the 1v3. This one, beautiful.
Just being able to isolate this fight as well. Look at that. Doesn't open himself up too wide with that second fight that he was taking. But ultimately, Alfia, really intelligent player.
And this has brutalized the Sentinels' economy. They're going to be kicking themselves for that. Because like I said, that one decided which way the momentum was heading in the series so far. And Sentinels now are just down to stingers.
Yeah, disrespecting that utility that was going through into A lobby. Oh, he knows. Durka knows. Tenz locked into this position. Even the utility, the shock dart, you can see it now. And after shock, though, Durka has to respect that one. The dash to just disengage, make sure he doesn't take too much damage.
Stingers can still be deadly if Durka gets caught out here by a flash.
Damage. The flash actually doesn't connect onto Durka. Still there, ready and waiting into the corner. Updraft play, and wow, Tenz makes the most of it. A bit of whiffage there from Durka, holding in a very aggressive angle.
And now that they're in a 5v4 post plan, Def might choose to use his ultimate.
Okay, there you go. Lockdown, placed down. Lockdown for a lockdown. How are you getting these kills? With the guns at hand, all up to Sassy. Stinger in his hands, tries to whip out the pistol, but already being swarmed by the players now. The lockdown. Destroyed. Not a problem.
Yeah, no issues whatsoever. And a ton of time on the clock anyway, even if they had all been detained. Fnatic committing really decisively, though. If you want to talk about Fnatic's, you know, and more so Boaster's hunt for a trophy, it feels like they get to a certain point in a tournament, they play against a big team, and there's a bit of freezing up that happens. At least that's my perception of how Fnatic's trophy hunt has gone ever since that fated grand final against Sentinels. And this squad that they've got is full of really decisive players. Durka and Alfia are more than happy to make mid-round playmaking, and so is Leo. Chronicle, the only player on Fnatic's team to have hoisted a trophy, knows what it takes to win. And I feel like so far Fnatic are making very quick decisions. They're not freezing up, they're not choking. They are adapting to everything that Sentinels is throwing at them.
And this is a difference maker from previous iterations of Fnatic that we have seen. You know, they've spoken many times in the past about, you know, being, you know, quite a well thought out team in terms of how they play, but a lot of set plays and a lot of waiting on Boaster's calls.
Definitely.
Not having that much, you know, independence in terms of making those quick adaptive plays in the middle of rounds when you get a bit of information. But this is a roster that is stacked with that either veteran presence talent or talent that are very independent and willing to make those quick reactive calls.
And it must be mentioned too that both Fnatic and Sentinels have not been together for very long. These teams, of course Fnatic, the core was still there of those three players, and Sentinels blending a couple of different cores together, but in terms of practice time with these two rosters, they've only been in the server together for about 2 months. So things should still be a bit rough and ready. But so far we're seeing some really nice ideas. And a lot of high caliber players.
The Nana Swarm that was placed early there, that's to try and push back a potential play from the opposing Jet like Durka here. He's pushed himself up onto this angle and brought down to 57 health, but still wants to take the angle.
And look at how much freedom that gives the rest of Fnatic. 4 players over towards B, Garage, and C. because Durka just knows that this is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's actually on such a tight angle that Pancada could slip past him.
Yeah,
I don't think
close
Durka quite
corner.
realizes that somebody's to his left.
But he will watch it when they start to cross into this. Now, Trailblazer, here's the dog. This can give him a good idea of it. Okay, chooses to vacate. Doesn't want to hold that angle, a bit too risky for him, but...
And I like this from Sentinels, contacting into A. Their composition has a lot of utility, but by contacting, Fnatic feel confident enough that they aren't rotating anybody over to A just yet. Boaster's hanging around for a little bit, now only just starting to make his way over. They might not be ready for this A explosion.
Risky maneuver that could be played there. And a stun is going to force Durka to not be able to scope in now. He can't really help them out, but already Boaster's trying to at least relieve some of that pressure, but the spam into hell catches onto Durka, the common angle that he was playing. 2 players of Fnatic falling, including Chronicle, make that 3. Leo opens himself up so wide there. Unfortunate timing with the smoke just fading away. What an answer by Sentinels off the back of that timeout today. We're talking about what they wanted to do differently. Perhaps that was part of it, what they were discussing, the contact play to make sure that Fnatic didn't have as much information to work with, that they couldn't rotate effectively.
Yeah, I think at this point, that's got to be credited as a really nice IGLing call by Def. I think the idea of just using that single piece of utility to push Durka away and recognizing that reinforcements don't come that quickly, it's something that I've always loved about Def's calling, is that he mixes in those contact attacking rounds with big explosive executes. And remember that on XSET, he was mostly doing the calling and the micromanaging on the attack side. He kind of split duties with Arin. And there were some tournaments where the attack side calling from XSET looked phenomenal. And there was some where it was a little shaky. But when Def's on point, when he has a read on a game, it puts so much pressure on the other team. There's a bit of frustration there showing from Boaster, despite the fact that they're 6-3 up. But they're still only 1 round away from getting ecoed themselves. This whole time, the economy has been on a knife's edge.
Oh, it's been back and forth, hasn't it? Neither side really being able to build up any sort of money in the bank. Now Boaster this time taking a aggressive approach, just pushing deep into A lobby. There's a smoke at the back of it and that dart, so he does have peace of mind that nobody was pushed back. Spam now, and it's the same play by Sentinels. They're just looking to see if they can apply some of that pressure into Garage, break the doors, break the util. Should be able to hear that turret close as well. And their goal is going to be to break that.
All of that A-lobby utility and Boaster spamming is trying to fake that Fnatic have multiple players pushed up towards A-lobby. This dog is going to notice that either there was nobody there or they've all dropped back. And look at how Fnatic react now. Instantly off the Trailblazer, there's 3 players at A. Do Sentinels commit? Or do they turn it into a fake this time around?
They're worried about that contact play. So this drone, oh, it's just mistimed, isn't it?
This drone is useful for Fnatic, but it gives Sentinels a great timing. They can just walk through after this.
And they're going to be taking it. They know off that big piece of util and the dart being committed. Yet still Fnatic are holding with players close. There's a Seekers now. Fault line through, that's just going to be used in response to try and slow them down. Even the flashes, Tenz can't quite see a thing. Even beefed his flash for his own dash coming through, trying to spray it down. Boaster does help them out a bit. A running gun in action. Okay. 3 kills for him. And just backs away, rotating around. No time on the clock, Tenz. Percentage play now knows that there's not a chance in hell of him winning this round, so just has to save the rifle.
He's going to get a backstab on Boaster here, but Boaster's already done the damage. Yeah. Amazing defensive calling, and also, he's playing so much more aggressively in this game than I've seen from Boaster.
And the difference maker there, honestly, was Boaster fighting really hard for it, but Chronicle actually helping him out with a util. That was the difference maker when Durka was holding that just by himself previously. Chronicle's util there was fantastic. The fault line, the flash, it caused Tenz to beef the dash. We might see it in the replay as well earlier, but all of that was just used excellently, and Boaster is playing so much more aggressively. You are right.
Yeah, he's got confidence. I don't know if he's been working on his, aim labs routine or what in the offseason, but he's taking map control, challenging these players. He's not scared of the heavyweight big hitters on Sentinels. He's just taking it to them.
That's what you need. It's a kind of attitude, mindset that you really do need. The knives, oh my words.
It's the same kind of pathing from the pistol round, but it doesn't work again.
Yep. Just too many stray blades just landing all over the place there. Gets a couple of the players low, but wow, that shot just being found, and
And this is disastrous. Sentinels need a miracle here, because going down 8 rounds, giving 8 rounds to Fnatic,
Brutal. Really, really brutal for them. They do need a miracle. Who's going to be the playmaker? Target's broken. Cosmic Divider cut across now. Moving forward, Sassy has to hold this. He knows he's being pushed. There's the first opener. Still Zekken, his positioning is known. A pop flash play moving forwards, and Zekken isolates the fights, but eventually shut down. Really, really well calculated there by Fnatic, making sure that they didn't overstep themselves, didn't give too much away.
very solid retake, and at this point, an extremely good half from Fnatic. 8-3 with a potential to go 9-3. Either way this final round goes, Fnatic have put on a really good performance here. Their retakes have been excellent, and apart from a couple of good moments from Sentinels, they've been able to work the defensive rotates into a position to shut down the pushes. We haven't seen Tenz unlocked as much as perhaps Sentinels would have hoped for.
Let's fly. Careful.
Now we're heading into that final round of the first half here. Operator fight taking place. Durka wants to try and take it. Waits it out as well. Smart from him. Doesn't immediately go for the turret. Just waits for it as it's being activated, just in case a player slips up and makes a mistake and peeks before it's ready. Tenz even going for a shot of his own as well, almost reacting to that jump peek.
But now they know Tenz is opping on attack, and that means that they should expect Sentinels to be playing a little slowly.
Yeah.
So Fnatic don't have to be as aggressive in terms of reclearing the map and looking for information, because they know that if they just kind of hold tight, Sentinels are going to be working a pick for probably the next 20, maybe even 30 seconds.
They know it's going to be a slower paced round, and look at this reposition by Alfia. Deep push to the bottom of C. An area to map, honestly, that hasn't been explored too much by Sentinels. When they've been going for these C hits, oftentimes it's through Garage, so this could be a really valuable backstab position if they decide to go for the C hit, which right now just a contact play, breaking that alarm bot, but the positioning is going to be known now with 40 seconds remaining. Durka looks down the one angle, still going to be holding it down. Rolling Thunder to push him back, wants to take the shot before it goes through, but there we go. The extra layers that I was talking about earlier. Alfia locked and loaded. And it is disaster for Sentinels. 2 players left standing, with Depp falling all down to Zekken. A nasty shot to be found, but Alfia once more with that consistency.
I think so many people were coming into this match wondering which team would have the better super team. Is it Americas or is it EMEA? And Fnatic have landed an emphatic first blow.
Outstanding first half from them. Clearly see why Fnatic opted into going into Haven as well. Very ready for it. They had so many different looks and changes to their defensive setups, honestly. Really falling across the board. And now, let's send it down to the desk to break down the first half so far.
Thank you so much, Brennan Sideshow. What a half for Fnatic. They looked absolutely filthy. I might need to take a bath.
Yeah, I mean, they looked incredible in that half. The defensive-sided calling from Boaster was great. But what impressed me most was their ability, even when their initial plan failed, to come back and still be able to win out rounds. And I wanted to take a look at round 7, because this was a really cool idea that I think they pulled out with this gambit. They switched the off over to Alpha and had Durka dashing into mid off of a stun, a dart coming through lobby, and that Sophus Hunter's Fury. Wow. It's quite a good idea, but he got punished by Zekken. It looked like Sentinels was going to be able to win this round, but Fnatic in the mid round had a good adaptation. And a lot of that was Boaster's aggression. The casters talked about it. He gets up, he gets his, and he sets his team up for this really strong retake back into the C site. Sure, Pencata got things closer to clutch, but overall, Fnatic had control of that half, and Boaster's calls were solid.
Yeah, I mean, nasty with it there for Pencata. So close to being able to clutch that out, and had he been able to, that would have stopped a bit more of that momentum there from the side of Fnatic, who were able to string together 4 consecutive rounds right there in the middle of that half. But now, it's on Sentinels to try to bounce back, and one of the ways they're going to be able to do that is with Tenz. So let's go ahead and we'll take a closer look at some highlights from him and Durka, because from the outset, Durka really kicked things off. He upped the pace immediately, and then Tenz, it took a little while, was able to eventually catch up.
Yeah, that he did. And now as we look towards this second half, I think it's going to continue to be defined by this Jett head-to-head. how both of these players are being used by their teams with their decision-making on that attacking side. Tenz has looked good thus far, but what Fnatic has had is better coordination as a team. We're seeing the individual moments, but it still feels like the coordination could use a little bit more work. I'm looking towards Def with this defensive calling.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Mini and Boaster's prep work has definitely paid off here on Haven. And look, I mean, this is what you expect on the pick of I believe this is a Fnatic's pick. So if you really want to do the, you know, the kind of like the microscope into the matchup, this is going all according to plan for Fnatic. How does Sentinels try and bring this back? Let's send it back over to the casters.
I love the highlighting there of that jet head-to-head between Durka and Tenz, two individuals that really are just carrying the weight of their team now as they're heading deeper and deeper into this Haven match. And Tenz is a player that is quite interesting as well. He's had such high peaks early on in his career. 2021, just, you know, when people were talking about superstar players, all the comparisons were being made against him. But this year, 2023, Josh, seems to be a chance of redemption for him to be able to prove that he can go toe-to-toe with the top heavy hitter teams once more.
I completely agree. On this pistol round, he's got a Sheriff in his hand and a desire to find a first engagement. Playing it short, same kind of place that we saw Durka looking towards time and again, but Fnatic are moving in the opposite direction. Looks like they're going to try and focus on taking out this turret and going for some kind of C-split.
Yeah. This is going to put a lot of pressure on Def in terms of his anchoring.
And Def's having a bit of a rough one so far. He's hit a couple of nice shots, but sat at the bottom of the scoreboard, 4-11. Just moves off the C site as the drone comes in.
That's spots too. Even gets a stun off as well. So what is going to be the reaction here from Sentinels? Turret going through, it's a fast play. They just want to fight this one into Garage. There was a flash over the top, and they do want to swing with the player advantage. Just trying to, again, beam them down with that frenzy clip. Not working out still. There's that 3v3, and the players are low on either side.
Yeah, it now gets a bit awkward for Fnatic because they don't control Garage, and they also don't control C-Long.
And still with the dash enabled. Here with the back of the side, a little jiggle, maybe opens himself up here, but this close position by Boaster could be everything for them. Tapping away, still just holding a little bit too close. Flash dodged away, and Tenz claims the second. At the back of the site, it's all for Leo to do, and unfortunately just cannot withstand the onslaught that was coming his way.
That is what you want to see. Sentinels with a lovely retake, and also Tenz finding his opportunities. Des was talking about how good the coordination was there, but I think that post-plant setup was really awkward by Fnatic. They're holding a flash off contact, but Tenz has already killed the contacting player before the flash is anywhere near coming through. Look how late that flash was. Tenz with all the opportunities to take two 1v1s. And I think you're right, Brent. This year is set up for Tenz's redemption arc because at the beginning of the game, he's just absolutely on top. I think he still holds the record for the highest ACS of any kind of MVP candidates at big events. His performance at Reykjavik was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But there's been so many questions about, has this guy still got it? You know, does he just want to be a streamer? You know, all of the same stuff that people say whenever people get too popular. But he said, when Sentinels was forming this team, he said to the head coach, listen, I still want to compete. I still want to be the best.
Yeah. Still wants to try and make his mark on the global stage, that competitive environment. This is a weaker buy for Fnatic. Pancada, okay, taking the fight right to them. Fully blinded up though, and Durka does get handed a pretty easy kill, but ultimately left in a 1v3. Gonna need to channel something unholy to be able to win this.
I've seen Durka win 1v3s on Haven A before. But I think this one does look a little too difficult. It's also one that Sentinels have got to win.
Yeah, I will say 50 seconds left in the round. He's cutting noise just by walking, but Second is watching this angle with a little jiggle peek. He doesn't offer any more as well. Look at that, just gets the information and backs away, playing quite patiently.
He knows that this is going to pull the defenders towards A. But he's a bit slow to rotate off fully and try and get a free plant on C. Tenz is thinking about it though. Has to spread out again just in case Durka's made a mad dash to the opposite side of the map. But I don't think this one's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, with 20 seconds left.
I think actually Durka's at risk of not even dying.
Yeah, you don't want to save this this weaponry into this round right now. Have to be going for the plant or something. Nano Swarm preemptively popped off, and yeah.
Def ready for it.
Will fall.
So have Sentinels got something cooked up? So we were talking about the difference between these compositions, and Sentinels comp has the ability to play really aggressive. 2 flashes and a paranoia to work with. You know, a lot of stuff to go forwards, and Empower tends to take really aggressive fights.
Yeah.
Maybe we see that here. Tenz has a Marshall, so not the best synergy in the world to work with, but I think a big push towards A lobby might net them some value.
It looks like they want to really fight over this one. That's 4 players from Sentinels grouping over to that particular area. Util exchange on either side. The dart being smoked off, so goal of this one, pushing Pancada up close. Now, probably off the contact of Tenz with the Marshall, that's where the paranoia is going to be let ripped. The Fnatic have read this quite effectively, I think. Now, not willing to really just offer any easy kills towards Sentinels. Instead, they're going to be contacting to a completely different area of the map.
Yeah, they've found the opening. They have found the gap in the defense, and Def is going to be asked to do a lot. Def and Pancada also full bought in this round, so
Oh yeah.
they'd be in a challenging spot if Def goes down.
Can't be losing this rifle early. Here's the dash through. Tries to go for a bit of a spam kill here, Leo. He's being isolated, surrounded right now, but yeah, holds the angle, and Sassy just wades right into him. Alfia's back there. That flash was not good from second. A bit of a self-flash there, but...
And now things are getting horrible for Sentinels. They kind of need to just save 2 weapons into this round.
They really do, and lose the rifle.
They got destroyed before they were anywhere near setting up for the retake. And Fnatic just got the easiest round of their lives, and Sentinels have 2 players that can't buy this round.
When you're 10-5 being the scoreline, such a difference in these rounds. You need every weapon, every advantage that you can carry forwards. I wonder what they're going to be opting into. It looks like the replays are going on. I can see the money that's going on. It does seem like they're opting into just forcing up into this round, but it means the weapons are not good. Pancada's working with a Sheriff while all this is going on in this setup.
Yeah, this is last chance desperation mode for Sentinels. They need somebody to go huge, and Tenz is not here.
All that YouTube just being dumped through. There you go. Fault line. It's not on the one side. Sentinels opting to just completely get out of there. So they want to play for this retake now, but the weapons, like I said earlier, are just not good for it. I mean, Tenz has got an operator.
And Sassy's also got no flashes. One is going to come back online at some point in the round, but they're really relying on Zeken's utility, and I would give Tenz the rifle. Yeah, they have done that, actually.
Swap to the round, so Sassy putting the operator now. We'll see what Tenz opts to do. Paranoia rips his way across, including the stun as well. Finding a one fight, no! All just being met pound for pound, match for match. The crossfire just far too potent from Fnatic. And Chronicle claiming 4 in the round. Real difference maker for this squad.
And Boaster with memories of that final map of Reykjavik on Haven, where Sentinels lifted the trophy in his head. With memories of that going through his head, he has delivered such a good performance right here as on the beginning of his revenge tour.
Yeah, starts here.
This is absolute dominance from Fnatic. Sentinels look like they are completely out of the game. We saw some flashes of brilliance in the first half, but other than that, the coordination, the utility usage, the game plan ideas, just all in favor of Fnatic on Haven. This was a great map pick to start things off.
Making it 11-5. Fault line to push back the players there. Now, look at this. It's a risk to be taken. Rolling Thunder, though, being set up. This is Chronicle, and he's going to clear this through all of A. Players trying to hold close. This is going to catch on to them, right? He's far enough back. No one from Fnatic might be able to swing off this, though, in short. They're playing pretty far back there, so... What are they waiting for right now? Maybe a bit of util to come back? Yeah, it's Leo with the dart. Waiting for that recon to come back online.
But I do think these short players need to be a little further forwards. Now they start moving their way forwards. They're into good space. And here we go.
To start, and that's it. Everything just sent flying. Updraft right round the corner. Even the aftershock. Sublime placement of the utility. So well executed. And that double stack. The risky play by Sentinels here on their weak goodbye does not pay off. Fnatic looking so damn ready to take that 12th round, set themselves up on map point.
It looks sublime, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so good.
And Fnatic are going to take that step closer to taking map 1. And it would have to be an almost impossible miracle run for Sentinels to mount any kind of comeback. Fnatic looks so in control. The game plans are gorgeous. Brent, a lot of the times, super teams do not live up to the hype. It's obviously way too early to call it for any of the teams in VCT with the year just starting. But I like what I'm seeing so far from Fnatic. They haven't just strung together a bunch of good players on their team. They've got a nice game plan and good ideas of the roles that, and how the synergies are going to operate.
Yeah. Very nice from them. Just a replay of that round as well. But this is do or die for Sentinels. This particular map.
The recon dart is also so good that Leo throws, because if it gets broken, they breach ult. If it doesn't get broken, it clears out short and they know that they don't need to breach ult that position and they can save it. You know, there's serious thought process been put into this. And this is one of the things that Fnatic always does, is start out tournaments with amazing ideas.
Yeah. Including this one, Shark Dart over the top. Land right at the front side of B, so that's going to be just clearing out all that utility. It was popped off early though, Durka. Draft dash play. He is stunned up though for the moment. Even the darts are clear through the back of the site, but this is Sentinels that now need to answer with something else. They're close to a couple of ultimates for this plant. It's going off and there's no problems whatsoever. It's now setting themselves up into the post plant. What an opening. With Zekken falling, you don't have that breach utility. And how do you win this? Cosmic Divider cut the one side up. Tenz, never open a for him. Seekers though, going to be spreading out into the side. Trailblazer even missing. This wall so difficult to try and burst through. There is no flash to break through this. And time is ticking. Finally it regens, but already the fight being taken. Sassy trading out, winning it Pancada with the flank. Reflanking through, it's all down to Leo. In that 1v2, one fight isolated, having a defuse. Sassy sticks it. The percentage play, there's no way you're sticking this all the way. Unbelievable. The absolute cojones on him to make a play like that.
And for the first time in the series, we see the value of adding Sassy and Pancada to this roster. That duo just played so well towards the end, and I'm speechless at what Sassy just did.
I mean, when you are literally on map point, why not? Throw caution to the wind.
Seemed like an unwinnable position for Sassy. And yet he gives Sentinels one more lifeline. Still not looking good. For all the heroics, it is still not looking good.
Gotta take it one step at a time, one round at a time if you are Sentinels, because, like you said, Josh, there's still Fnatic in that driving seat. Knives now going to be ripped out for Tenz. Still, that's going to be a lockdown. Instantly, the Hunter's Fury is used. Leo was ready for this one. No hesitation. Players falling left, right, and center, and they just cannot capitalize. Sassy, the last man standing. He's handed an easy one. The barrel of the gun just opening it out a little bit too wide. Drone tagging. It's going to push him back. Just hoping for the re-swing there with that pre-fire, but Fnatic are looking more than ready now to take this one. Surrounding him, the reposition. Look at this from Durka. Into the back of Garage. It's just unwinnable. Layers of utility. No one giving him an easy fight. Beams him down, but left to 5 health. And the doubled up positions, look at it, waiting it out with the patience. Intelligent play from Fnatic, and they take map 1 in this series, 13-6.
Good start in the series for Fnatic on their map pick. Looking completely in control from about the middle of the first half. We called it an IGL's playground, and I think not just Boaster's calling, but also the game plan, the preparation was so evident and looking super strong. Sentinels are going to be hard-pressed to fight back on split here. This Fnatic team is not messing around. They're worthy of the title so far of Super Team.
What an interesting series we potentially have as well. The fact that Sentinel's next map pick is split. It's a map that has haunted them throughout the entirety of this org's existence, but that is going to be interesting. We're going to be finding out just on the other side of this break just how the rest of this series is going to be playing out.
Dhuru Bhutak, hi, welcome to the stream, Dhuru Bhutak. Khatam bro on a first map. Easy for Fnatic bro, easy for Fnatic. बराबर है कि नहीं? कि 2-1 हो रहा है? हाँ रे बोदा, 2-1 हो रहा है कि 2 नहीं? सेंटिनल सिर पे मेरे को लग रहा है, मेरे को 2-1 लग रहा है। अभी ये सेंटिनल्स निकालेगा ये वाला, मेरे को लग रहा है, फुल फील आ रहा है। टेंस गर्म हो गया है मस्त। टेंस मार रहा था अभी सेकंड, मे बी मैं देखा नहीं रे, मेरे को याद नहीं आया अभी, तभी देखा था, याद नहीं आ रहा मेरे को। पहले शायद फ्रैक, क्या मालूम, कुछ तो है, कुछ तो है। रुजा देखते क्या है, आप भी देखता हूँ। पर्ल बैन है, पर्ल नहीं है। स्प्लिट है, स्प्लिट सेकंड ब्रो, सेकंड स्प्लिट है। और लोटस पे ये है, लोटस बेबी लोटस। ओ भाई वाइपर चिच्चा भाई ये कर रहा है, वॉच पार्टी कर रहा है, सारे वॉच पार्टी कर रहे भाई। बंग्स भाई वॉच पार्टी कर रहे।
ऐसा एक फॉर्मेट चाहिए रोहित भाई, इफ यू आर वाचिंग माय स्ट्रीम, ठीक है, ऐसा एक फॉर्मेट चाहिए, क्या बोलते हो? या फिर 1 month ऑफ फेनेटिक वर्सेस सेंटिनल्स गेम प्ले, ऐसा हर दिन खेलो, बेस्ट ऑफ, महीने के एंड में जो जीता वो जीता। हाँ, $1000, क्या बोलते? पिंकी लुकिंग सो क्यूट। मित्तल भाई क्या? मित्तल को पिंकी तक पसंद है इतना तो। अच्छा, लाइटनिंग फास्ट होम इंटरनेट इज हियर लिखा है भाई, मेरे कुछ अलग पड़ा था, बोला है ट्विटर बैंटर। Chronicles easy is looking nasty holy. Boaster with the 3K, woo, that's my AGL, let's go. My AGL, लेकिन वो तो है ही नहीं टीम।
Like how they must have, tweeted it.
लानी मल मर्ड डर के बैक ऑन जेट वार्म्स माय हार्ट।
और उसने देख ये सब कैप्स में डाला, मतलब चिल्ला रहा है।
वाह, कैप्स में डाला मतलब चिल्ला रहा है?
हाँ,
हो सकता है वो कैप्स को हटाना भूल भी क्या रहेगा।
नहीं।
एने वाई सो क्वाइट, ये आंधी के आने से पहले वाला तूफान है, क्या बोलते हैं, जो भी है, साइलेंस है।
गाइस ये ट्विटर पे नहीं है, इसको नहीं पता।
इसका फैनेटिक का
पूरा एमसीबीजे कर दिया।
कोई सीन नहीं, अब आएगा सेंटिनल्स का मैप बेबी। हाँ, कॉल टेंस, सच्ची सच्ची मेरे पास है नंबर। मेरा सुपर चैट हमेशा मिस करते हो, इसके पहले भी किया विकास, सॉरी यार
ना, एंड नो वे
टेंस का एक कॉल कर दे, कर है, नंबर है ठीक। टेंस
ओ भाई साहब,
हेलो,
ये लोग भी बच रहे हैं बे।
या
कौन?
Oh, you have my number saved in the phone like Binks, baby.
क्या सही में?
Love you, yeah, Tenz. Love you. Yeah, win this, okay? Win this. It's your map, okay?
भाई
We are watching
इन्होंने
you.
तो डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया,
ठीक है?
फैनेटिक।
There are too many Tenz fan here. ठीक है? We are a half Boaster fan also, but 3/4 Tenz fan. So Tenz, don't worry, you kill it. ठीक है? Feel it and kill it. यही बोलने का है,
इसका
ठीक
ट्वीट
है?
देखना था।
चलो, कॉल पे हो यार, मैं टेंस के साथ, रुक जाओ.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was Pinky.
Hi,
Yeah.
Tenz. You're cute. Really
Yeah.
cute. मेरी शादी नहीं हुई होती तो
You don't understand Hindi? Tell her to shut up. Okay, okay, Tenz. ठीक है. Bye. Say hi to Kaide also.
एक बंदा उधर
चलो.
कमेंट करता है will take just another 30 minutes
मजा आ
to
गया.
win another map.
बिस्किट खा रहे हैं अपन. बचपन का बिस्किट है भाई अपना. You'll have one. You'll have one. बचपन में गाता था मैं, सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड में. क्या ट्विस्ट?
कौन आंखों
आ हुआ?
भाई ट्विच पीछे हेलो रिफ्रेश कर रहा मैं ट्विच होदा तारिक विद 150k वाचिंग तारिक का 150k और वेलोरेंट का x11 वो सेंट तारिक की है सेंटिनल्स के लिए कंटेंट बनाया था ना भाई जो 150k की वाचिंग चालू है इसकी क्या पैसा आता रहेगा ना ट्विच का बादशाह रहेगा वो फिर और कोई है उससे बड़ा टेंस को तोड़ी नहीं ना तारिक को तोड़ी नहीं ना ट्विच पे श्राउड ओके श्राउड क्रॉनिकल क्या गाली गुस्सा दे रहा है देख टीम लिक्विड बाहर क्या पैसे का सोर्स करने का है वीसीटी भाई हमको स्टेज पे एनालिस्ट करने भेजो पहले रशिया में कमी है पैसे की रशिया है ना गैम्बिट वाला था ना रेडगर M3 चैंपियन चला था ना शायद बेचारा रशिया कब्जा कर लिया किसने रशिया कब्जा कर लिया किसने हाँ नहीं हाँ तो फिर मैटर तो लोग नाम क्यों चेंज किया मतलब क्या सीन वैसा मतलब नाम खराब होता है ऐसा इसके रशिया के ऊपर बैन डाला है लोगों ने ये वेलोरेंट वालों ने पूरे वर्ल्ड ने कि ये लोगों को खिलाने का नहीं ऐसा इसके लिए ओ भाई ऐसा सीन तो फिर प्लेयर्स को काय को खिला रहे रशिया के रशिया नाम के ऊपर तो फिर ऐसा रशिया के देश के ऊपर कुछ ये नहीं है अंदर का पब्लिक खेल सकता है फिर ऐसा तो समझ रहा मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ पाकिस्तान को बैन किया बराबर तो पाकिस्तान के प्लेयर्स खेलने क्यों नहीं देते मेरा रीजन ये है जब तक देख मान्यता है तेरे को तू खेल सकता है आज ये इतना कितना साल का है डेफ बहुत बड़ा आदमी लग रहा है ये बहुत बड़ा है ना एक्यूरेसी देखो उसका वाला टेंस को छोड़ के उसको दिखा रहे हैं हां स्लीप रहे हैं खत्म है ओ भाई लोटस लोटस बहुत चालू है ये इसमें लोटस बहुत देख रहा है अपन लोटस बेबी लोटस चालू हो रहा है बे चालू हो रहा है बे चालू हो रहा है क्रोनी 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 आजा आजा
Right, double duelist comp like is hovered here. There's
पियर्सिंग कर ला भाई नहीं पियर्सिंग Tenz with the sage ये लोग डबल डुएलिस्ट खेल रहे भाई
Clench.
Chalu, let's go.
Rough performance, but his raise should just be so much more fluid and allow him to get aggressive and get into positions where he can rely on his fragging.
Much more confident pick for him.
And the whole comp is a very Xset comp coming out from Sentinels.
Yeah.
It is a def, an A-Rin kind of composition here. It's loaded with a ton of utility. It can take map control. It's really good on the defense side too. Big clash here though in ropes.
Yep, already going to be trying to take this one, and guess what? Coverage was there. Durka takes the first shot. Chronicle had his back, even with the disengage in play. So it's left Sentinels with a player disadvantage in this 3v4 now. Looking to regroup with the rest, or at least with the space that Pancada's gained ever so slightly.
Yeah, the Viper setup creates a little bit of threat, a bit of pressure over towards A Heaven.
They're reading it.
But there's already 3 players here.
Yeah.
And part of that is because Alfie's cam sees into B Heaven, and he's not worried at all.
And so Durka lines it up right down the angle. A single shot will do it to the chest. Sassy, not stand a chance. All up to Pancada with no time left to even play in this round. What can you even do in a situation? You have to try and plan A. Not likely, not when Durga's hitting shot like this. I mean, that is just disgusting.
Durga has been a land demon at almost every event he's been to.
Yeah.
I think he played slightly better online in the run-up to champs than what we actually saw from him. But the team still did fairly well, making it to around the 6th spot. It's not like he was bad, but my God, when this guy is on form, when Durka's playing his best, he's up there with, you know, the top 3 players in the world. At times, he looks like he could be the best player in the world. Maybe this Fnatic team is going to empower him to be just that.
What a beginning for Fnatic. It's a critical pistol round for Sentinels to just get a bit more confidence in the series, seeing if they could try and fight back after losing that first map. But now this judge in play, this is always dangerous. Much more passive wall, but still going to get broken nevertheless. But it gives good information that players are close. Def just trying to go for the jump peek. The right click in play. Now a nade as well pushes off that angle. Leo taking quite a bit of damage. Just trying to get out of there. Even a self heal being used, so he'll be topped back up, I believe, to 100 health.
And a paranoia being thrown in there too, just so that Chronicle can grab a little bit more information and presence, controlling B Heaven. I think the split is entirely about map control. It's about holding on to key areas, and Boaster's got B main. Chronicle's got B Heaven currently, and there's still a lot of info that Alfie is providing on the A side. So Sentinels are a little stuck. Obviously just pistols in this round too, but in these kind of rounds, Def is probably just going to be feeling out what the defense looks like. Yeah. How do they respond to different things? Where is the Cypher setup?
Nade is going to be supplementing this entire push, and they all fall down, with the exception of Tenz, who's just late lurking through B main.
And those 3 kills from Chronicle to put us up to a prime game in Flawless. He's now 2 away from his ultimate.
Very important.
Yeah, massive. Chronicle as well. Both of the Breach players now on map 2 playing Raze for us. And while I think it's imperative to get Zekken onto a role like that, where he can have a bit more impact in the round, where he's showcased more comfort. For Chronicle, this guy, we've seen him up at the top playing all sorts of different stuff. And his fragging has never been in question.
Yeah, I mean, he's been such a flexible player. Remember him trying out to play, I believe it was Sova on Split as well, at times.
Oh, yeah.
Not afraid to flex over to a variety of roles. But this is the investment round now from Sentinels. They've got guns online in their hands. They'll make usage of them now.
And look how much faith they have, actually, in Durka to just hold on to A Heaven, sorry. So now Alfia comes to reinforce. They're going to play a bit of a retake setup if Sentinels burst into the site.
Yeah.
And Alfia and Durka are going to be fighting both incredibly good fraggers.
This Heaven position, watched for. Flash goes all the way up top there. That is an instant trade, so Durka only going to be claiming the one. Double satchel across. Alfia could be the difference maker. High ground position. Crosshair placement was not good, but he uses the cage to get back out of there. Site's going to be gained. Wall has to be used, though, and Heaven wasn't really watched for there. Tenz had the spike in his hands the entire time. He will get this plant down without too much problem. Still, Fnatic, if They've maintained and held on to control of Heaven this entire time and looking to re-clear now through ramp down into main. And Boaster holding this paranoia. This is a big play, ready and waiting. It's going to be ripping its way through. It's going to be attempt stairs. They're trying to hide through the smoke. Showstopper letting it rip over the wall though. No one watching for it, and a spray down. Reset of the aim, Def being the playmaker.
What a big triple kill from Def. But also fortunate that he was on the right side of that wall.
Yep.
He was hugging the very edge of the smoke. He knew that he wanted to go through it, and the timing just ended up being impeccable. I think a very big difference there too in terms of how Fnatic were approaching the retake. On Haven, we saw them strike immediately as soon as the plant went down, not giving Sentinels a moment to set up into a post plant. Whereas this time they took a bit just to set up and make sure that they're all approaching, but it let Sentinels get a bit more comfortable.
Definitely some more hesitancy there.
Walking down mid
so
with the op.
aggressive.
Durka was doing this on Haven too.
And they're doubled up. Primed and ready for the collateral, but denied at the final moment. The high-low setup, the reaction time's just not paying off there for Durka.
The reflexes from Zekken though, to be able to get that one, so important.
They seemed almost ready for that one, Sentinels. The way they played it. Like they anticipated a push down mid. Another fight being taken though, Chronicle. Oh boy, Satchel's missing. Leo just tries to bail him out, but he does pay with it. With his life in the process, now backing away.
That wall, it has a little gap for Chronicle to hide in. And he's able to get up on top of it too.
Yeah.
So I thought Chronicle was just left out to dry, and instead, Leo's given him a little safety spot. This is a weird round. Okay, so Pancada's created some pressure over on A, and that's pulled the rotate. Boaster, for maybe the first time in this series, has a bad read on where this is going.
It's all left up to Chronicle to try and deny. Wall still in the hands of Tenz. He's going to be using it, slow into the back. Now the wall's up. Chronicle doesn't look to try and push them back. In fact, just pushing down into mid. A contact play from him. Clan's going to go down without too many problems, but this fight that's about to take place in main is so important. Pancada is going to meet him. Yep, face to face with Chronicle. Not a util still to try and push them back, but that snake bite is quite nice. Means it not going to be anybody following up on the boom bot. Now the nade across though. Aim of the game going to be trying to delay. Boaster with the paranoia, goes too wide actually, a little bit too high. Pancada still alive in this one, and there's a crossfire setup, the re-swing! An adjustment of the aim, finds the target, finds the mark. Alpha swinging across, position is known, now onto Heaven, but Sassy reveals it still. Will lay claim to the kill with Alpha falling. That's going to be that second round on the board for Sentinels, and so far, an even map.
And it's opened the door for Sentinels now too, because Fnatic heavily invested. The operator on Durka got shut down immediately. Everybody else full board. Sassy coming up with the goods in the post plant. Really nice stuff. That duo again, the defending champion duo of Sassy and Pancada, so solid, really difficult to get through when they're set up and in position. Sentinels now should have an opportunity to start building up a few rounds. Major pressure though with Durka. Pops the Blade Storm and they go for something really aggressive, driving everybody into Alpha, who has a Bucky on B.
So I like this idea from Fnatic. Based on their weaker buy, obviously the need to try and force positions, but Sentinels are not wasting too much time with this one. They actually pop the Seekers off into mid. Uses it. Okay, Tenz on top of the wall, finds two. Straight away opens it up. There's going to be no danger of any cheeky kills from Alpha anymore. Still, Chronicle running onto Heaven is smoked off for the time being, though. Does have that Bulldog in his hands, but Sassy also watching the flank. Fast play out, Boaster. He's actually managed to find some space out onto the side with this, and he tries to take the fight anyway with the Frenzy. Just not too favored. And it's another day in the fire and range for Pancada. Cleans it up nicely.
And gets his ultimate online. Really important that Pancada was hunting those kills towards the end, because a Viper's Pit could easily win this next round if they can get onto site. Tenz, that's the second time that when he walls out into B, he's been on top of it. And obviously he gets a great punish there. But I'm wondering if Fnatic are going to start reading into this a little bit and just be holding for him being on top of the wall every time. I think the most important thing though in this round is, can Sentinels get into a post plant for Pancada to win with his pit?
It's been quite slow by Sentinels. You're seeing Really glimpses of that exit attack side calling from Def in the past when he's played on this map.
Definitely agree. Look at where the cam is as well from Alpha though. Pancada's kind of... Pancada and Sassy have faked a bit of pressure up towards A Heaven, but Alpha knows that it's not real. And that's going to allow Durka to rotate off, and they can just leave the whole of the A site to Alpha
Still holding it for the time being. Mid, just being contained. Deep flash there into ropes. A familiar play to what Sentinels were trying to do on Haven quite a bit. They throw a bit of util out, and just contact up, but this wall is going to be causing problems now.
That gives Sentinels a ton of space though.
How do they want to play around this? Just waiting. Tenz holding so low, you've got to be joking! The spacing there just not quite good enough, and Fnatic, they crumble.
This is a save round at this point. The only thing Fnatic are hoping for is that maybe Pancada gets panicked and uses his ult for no reason. This round is over. And all down to Tenz.
Being the playmaker. This guy,
on a new role.
About him, man. Yeah, new role. 2023 really is the year of redemption for this guy. You know, he's playing on a map where we spoke about it. Historically, his performances were never good. This map always haunted him in the past, but
yeah, he's had occasional performances where he goes nutty on Jet, but his team still looks scrappy. His raise was never that great, and there were a lot of, you know, narratives about him being poor in elimination matches and stuff as well. Yeah. Frankly, the guy just has a microscope on him because of the size of the audience that he commands.
I mean, the guy set the standards for star level performances in 2021. Yeah.
But I like what he's doing there, and I also think that that was a bit ill-advised from Fnatic to be challenging this super heavily. It's not a great one-way. We've seen teams run it before. I think Yampi on Astra was somebody that I could remember doing it, but do you see how awkward it was for Boaster and Chronicle?
Part of the reason why the spacing was so poor when they lined up was because they were only given the sliver of an angle to play around with that one-way.
It's not a one-way that really favors the defenders that much. And yet they decided to fight it until the very bitter end. I much prefer a one-way that's deeper in B main, and I'm sure that Fnatic will, you know, put that one-way up again and fake as if they're challenging him. But Boaster needs to make some kind of adjustment here. Fnatic call a timeout, having an opportunity to talk to Mini. But I think the Cypher is getting good information behind the Viper fakes. So they should have a decent idea about where Sentinels are trying to finish. But they need to make sure that they don't lose players too early. For example, when Durka walked down mid and then just lost a player off the rip. And then where Tenz grabs 2 in B main. Because they're not actually forcing Sentinels to go for big site execs. They always have an advantage by the time they're hitting the site. And that's a big difference compared to Haven, where I think Fnatic had 13 of the first kills.
Which obviously makes a massive difference.
Yeah.
If you're heading into most rounds of an advantage like that, playing a 5v4. But off the back of this timeout now from Fnatic, they look to invest. It's going to be those weapons. Boaster on the weaker buy, half armor across the board as well, so not the most ideal of situations, but we'll see if the adjustments come through, like you were saying, Josh. Maybe a bit slower play from Fnatic, but already a tempo shift.
Sassy has been using this dog, though, every time. So this doesn't feel any different for Fnatic, up until they all burst out this smoke.
Which is right now. You're going to see the double satchel play over the top. Oh, what is that? Absolutely unbelievable. And the crossfire setup out here, ready to bail it out, just as Sentinels try and collapse into the site. Space being gained, Pancada does hold, but still, no one's dealing with Alpha. Durka just walks into the smoke like ships in the night, but this time Def was aware of it.
And that might have given an opportunity for the 2 Smokes players on Sentinels to clutch. The spike, though, is in such a horrible position. And a triple crossfire, the camera's still up. Everything is stacked against Sentinels. But they have a hope.
Hope and dream, still the cam is going to spot them out. See that warbang angle? That's just off the cam. Spots the player, pings it out, and you warbang him through the box there.
Boaster took a bit of damage back.
That exchange of fire, 28 seconds left. How do you find an isolator fight here? Fnatic, so favored. Slide off angle by Leo, does he not spot him into the corner? He does, but good movement from Leo. The wider swing, Pancada wasn't ready for it, and Alfia, what a cleanup from that guy. I mean, Firstly, let's just adjust. I mean, I don't know. We got to talk about that first shot from Durka. Show me a replay or something, because that was. I mean, I was speechless. I'm speechless.
That really is superb. And he knows where Zekken is going, so there's a bit of anticipation in that as well. It's not just pure tracking. He knows that he's trying to land on that high ground, but it's still such a gorgeous shot. And Durka and Alpha just playing off each other perfectly. That's the thing in and out. That is the first time that that A setup has properly been tested, where they're ready to receive it. In one of the previous rounds, they did go A, but Alpha was trying to get back into the site through elbow, and they didn't quite know what was going on. I'm not sure Sentinels are going to go for heavy hits, but I do think they could still follow this dog and try and control A. The camera, again, in a really nice spot from Alpha.
Opting into that mid-control, though, from Fnatic, with the operator in the hands of Durka. This time they fight it. Still Pankata. They get that deep position. Does he know the cam's there? Oh, the left-hand approach! Wow, okay. What? I mean, just should never have been favored in that fight yet. Comes out relatively unscathed. I mean, dropped to 27 health, but the kill claimed, and that's the important part.
And since the timeout, all of these first fights have been going the way of Fnatic. Good information here too. Leo's walled off B main, so they're not too worried about that. They can put a lot of focus towards B heaven. I'm not exactly sure though why Chronicle is leaving right now. Okay, now he returns.
Yeah.
Just in time, I think.
Play being set up though. Fnatic, massive advantage with this one, and a contact play. Zekken just tries to take the angle. Paranoia and a nade to push them back. Wall not even close to fading here.
30 seconds left.
Interesting angle that Tenz is looking for. Clean shot into this one. Jump peek by Chronicle. We've got a lot of information now. Time running so damn low. Only 18 seconds left in the round. What a flick from Sassy. Does he anticipate the second player up top though? Drop down. That's Boaster close. And fight still being won out. It's down to Tenz. Spike has to be picked up. And the pressure is on. Isolates one more fight.
Whoa.
What is that?
He's
time
just got
to spare.
time.
Yeah, he does indeed. Durka solo though. Rotating around. The heal's going to be used. Back up, healthy, still in that 1v1. Isolating the angle, and Durka is just waiting it out. Locking down the angle on top of the box with that operator. Has the dash, waiting to see what he can do. Slowly creeping and crawling down the ropes, not making any noise. And it's just going to be a game of reactions. Who spots who first? Barrel sticks out, and Tenz delivers. The final blow for the Red Bull clutch.
What a performance. Tenz has been masterful on this map so far. I love the timing that he takes past the wall in B main. And then the skill demonstrated from Tenz and Sassy to be able to win that round is superb. I think Fnatic's defensive setup was really good. In fact, I think the macro game so far has still been better from Fnatic. But that doesn't win you games. No. Sentinels running away with this on the attack side.
Fast showstopper play right up close. And these fast plays, when you throw them in, just how slow the attack side rounds are being played. Of course they're going to be capitalizing. Of course they're going to be coming up with the goods.
Durka needs something here. He might get all oh, I thought he was going to get both of them. They almost lined up, but the trade is there from Sassy.
Yeah.
Safe again, not even a point of damage. And now Fnatic are really stuck. 3v4, and like I said, Split is about map control. Well, they have no idea if someone is into ropes. They still have this cam from Alpha, and I think the desk was talking about it. The Sentinels are not putting a premium on breaking this stuff. They didn't break the Killjoy utility. They're not breaking the Cypher utility either, but they are still finding a way around it. I heckin' love that guy.
Yep, just blessed of his POV in the moment there. Trip's going to be broken though, Alpha yet. His job now to try and hold this down. And Cam's quite good at spotting out a bit of that angle. Tries to go for the spray down there with a stinger, but now just backing away actually. Opting into the save. Not even willing to try and play into this one. If Alpha can claim a rifle, it's going to be not too bad for them, but still. Another round on the board, piles up. And that
is a big W for Fnatic. Do you remember what I said a couple of rounds ago where Fnatic were going for a save and I said the best they can hope for is Pankata gets scared and just uses his ult? Well, it happened here. A 4v3, it's not a bad time to use the ult. And of course he can't know that Fnatic are going for a save, but they're going to be a bit frustrated about that.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it's a round on the board. They're still going to have an economy advantage heading into the next, into round 10. And Sentinels with 6 on the attack side is looking superb. Brent, I feel like Split is becoming an attack-sided map from what we've watched. It feels like teams are really being able to get a read on how to create ramp pressure, get into heaven. A lot of teams playing heavy duelist styles.
So
it's been difficult for these defensive teams.
Yeah, with the map changes as well, widening of a lot of these choke points.
But Fnatic, I think, are still going to be explosive when the sides swap with Durka and with Chronicle.
You would think, right, with the double duelist composition that they are running.
But they still need to get rounds on the board. Sentinels cannot be allowed to run away with this. Otherwise, we're going to see a complete mirror of Haven, which I suppose would be only fitting.
Yeah. Really slow orb from Leo. That's just a bit of conditioning. Durka's been opping that angle just from that, so making sure that they keep adding these layers into the early rounds.
It might have slipped there for just a moment. We're back in the game though, don't worry about it. Minute 10, and thankfully nothing happened.
Yep.
Just a bit of slow mid control, and Sassy coming around the corner, just contacting in.
Yep, and that kill is quite far out in the open there. We'll see what can be done. Leo does have a res available, but already that pressure's being applied to him and starting to squeeze him. Nade rebounded off the side, sets him up again. Tenz, an easy kill, especially when his target is rotating this way, that way. Alfia has to be the difference maker, and what a shot to find. The crossfire setup, Boaster quick to respond again in kind, holding that crossfire setup. And cool, calm and collected, that is the name of the game. Alfia as the anchor.
Alfia's anchoring has just been phenomenal. Tested on the A side, delivers. Tested on the B side, absolutely immaculate again. And the cages are working, the scripts are working, the positions he's playing are off his teammates. And just relying on that ability to take duels and win them. Fnatic get a fourth, and they save themselves from another eco. I'm liking the Cypher setups as well that they're going for. Alfia obviously was a Sentinel main before he started playing Duelist for Fnatic, so he's really comfortable in this spot. And I gotta be honest, Brent, my eyes are still over towards Zekken. I'm waiting for that big moment where he showcases the skills that we've seen from him in the past. Can he crack this open in A heaven with Sassy?
Mindfuck हो रहा है मेरे को. YouTube पे भी ऐसे होता रहेगा.
Watch for, no, drops down onto the side, and it's just a contact play. Sentinels moving all the way through. Fight has to be taken here. And one out. It's Durka taking out Pancada. Chronicle as well, just making sure to try and cover that angle, but there wasn't. Chronicle as well, just making sure to try and cover that angle, but there was an instant trade.
It's so strange though. Durka just controls the. Things are getting chaotic. This is going to come down to individual decision making.
With 40 seconds left in the round.
देख रहा है?
Individual
Stream
moments.
देख रहा है कि नहीं? लोग गाली दे रहे हैं भाई.
Sentinels are going to have to shine, but
Chat में Twitch के chat में लोग गाली दे रहे हैं.
Spike still in the hands of
देख
Tenz.
सब चकरा रहे थे.
What little time they did have is starting to burn away.
Mindfuck होएगा ऐसे सब दिख रहा है तो. I think.
Resin play actually with the orb. Let's see if there was any punish there. No, Durka was holding inside the
मन
smoke.
भी नहीं
seeming
कर रहा
to
देखने का.
catch an angle, but now time is running really low. Jumping through into the smoke, Durka waits it out. Patient enough, snakebite across, rips through, and it's down to just there. Spike nowhere near him. Unable to make a play in this moment, so Fnatic grabbing that round on the board.
A really important one for Fnatic too, because this starts to bolster their defense side. They've won the pistol, and then 3 out of the next 9. It's not been an incredible performance by Fnatic, but the score on the board is what matters. And they're drawing things level with a comp that's probably going to be attack-sided. We might be dead even in this map. I think Sentinels need to put another one on the board, I think. The next half is going to be the side where both comps are probably the most comfortable.
Yeah.
But both teams need as many as they can right here. Durka with an operator looks to take an early peek. He knows that Sassy's been dogging it every time.
We'll see what happens here. It's early fight. So important. Seekers forces out the first shot, has to back away, including the dog. Removes all that util. going to be clearing the way for them. Boombot and a nade, the double satchel play this time, a different pathing, yet Boaster still nails the shot, one after another. Nasty stuff from Boaster, and the reposition from Durka. Trying to catch one of these players unaware. Pancada though offsets it with his own movement. Going to be favored into that fight. So, Spike now starting to go down. But lifting that two.
Like I'm a fucking teenager, I got scratched DVD, we're trying to watch a fucking movie, it just keeps replaying. What is this shit?
You gotta fucking wipe the CD.
A nice even score line. Nade into the corner. It's going to be pushed
Oh.
away, dropping down. A flick of the wrist from Tenz.
Wait.
Not able to find it.
Wait a
Satchel
minute.
up top. One more kill found.
my God, he actually wins.
Boaster is on.
I've
and
seen
it's
him
just
win those.
unable
Holy.
Fuck, he's actually good for it.
to put it away, put it to bed. Fnatic,
Look dangerous, no?
they claim the round. They're
6-6,
gonna be
I
making
mean,
it
I'm
6
sorry,
I
to
think,
6.
don't, hold on a minute. No,
Yeah,
now you're,
depends on pistol here, pistol.
I think the only bad thing about it is that they end the half with like no momentum. Like 6 should be enough. With pistol
I
especially.
mean, yeah, that's just split in general, you're saying, but these guys have 8 attack comp.
They do.
Are they going to be able
So
to pull it back?
that's the problem.
They have 1 round on Tyson.
Owen,
We're gonna
listen,
go to a
listen,
break
Terry.
here.
Open flash
5-minute
into
break,
B
and we'll be
side,
back with the next
satchels,
half.
one guy satchels right, the other
I'm
guy
gonna show you
dashes in
the
front.
remix version of
Very
Sentinels
hard to beat.
Fnatic.
I agree. So hopefully Sentinels, like what's the move? It's to play off site, go for one and get off
You
quick.
can't give up mains, you can't really give
Or
up
hold
mains.
mains. That's the move.
Can't really let them hit your site, yeah.
Yeah, don't let them hit the site. That's it.
It's probably a 5-minute break so they
I
can
feel like
fix it.
their mid control though with this comp is just sketchy.
186 kg watching this. शेजाम भाऊ पण करत आहे भाई बिचारा मला खूप खराब वाटत त्याच्यासाठी कोणीच नाही घेतलं पण 30 टीम मध्ये कोणीच नाही घेतलं बिचाराला नो वन टेक शेजाम ब्रो नो वन Shazam. Shazam. Lightning fast home intense is here. Lightning fast home intense is here, bro. भाई मेरे गले में कुछ तो हो गया है गले में खिचखिच विक्स की गोली लो खिचखिच दूर करो स्क्रीम भाई भी कर रहा है बच्ची है भाई स्क्रीम भाई बेचारा घर चला गया स्क्रीम बेबी एक्टिंग तो कर रहा तू रावा से लेके तू एक्टर है मैं नहीं पढ़ता किसी के मैटर में क्या वाला बोल 6 वाले बोल क्या बोल जल्दी बोल प्रेडिक्ट कर हाँ 6 वाले T1 versus fur है fur fur means टेंस का कमबैक आ रहा है क्या? मार्च एंड में फिर से चालू होगा बोला वीसीटी पैसे भाई T1 में कल जेटा है, मचकिन है, बैन है, साया प्लेयर है, कार्प है। अच्छा टीम है। 4 कोरियन, एक किधर को तो है बैन और 4 किधर का टीम है? 4 ब्राजील का टीम और एक आज एक करा दे रहा है। तीन ब्राजील टीम तक टोटल 3 ब्राजील को टीम है भाई। तेनु तेनु सूट करदा, तेनु सूट करदा।
Just looking.
ए तेनु सूट करदा। 170 kg watching.
Fully, not too much stuttering. Sorry about that. I was chewing on the cables earlier. Got a bit hungry. But yeah, back into the match that matters now here between Fnatic and Sentinels. Map number 2, of course, is the Sentinels that need to take it. Yeah. They have any chance of staying in the series and staying in the tournament.
This composition is so good on the defense side, but this pistol round is going to matter so much.
So important. A lot of time for these teams to think about what exactly you want to do, but already you can see a lot of players of Fnatic just grouped up. Double duelist play. The Excels are just fast bursts into the side, a bit of a jumping from Tenz. Not sure if he saw them there. Smoke going to be placed now up into heaven. Paranoia also primed. There's a dash forwards, but that wall is interesting. Yeah, blocks them off. Removes one of the available positions that they could have just been swinging from. But the counter wall play. What a play to make and what a call in the moment. Still, Fnatic overwhelming them. And Sentinels just did not look ready for that one.
2 players left alive, Zekken and Sassy. Can they make it work here? They're in great positions to deny the plant, and the pressure is actually on Fnatic.
Yeah.
But Zekken's just so out in the open. And his crosshair placement, there's no way he knows where anyone's coming from.
Yep, no one holding that angle, so Chronicle just contact pushing all the way up. Now left into that 1v3. Spike should be able to go down without too many problems, but
there's one of the walls.
It's Fnatic just waiting right now for the walls to fade away so that the rest of the team can help them out and get that clean plan off. There you go.
Fnatic with this pistol round are going to be starting some serious momentum unless Sassy can work a miracle. But I think it's just far too much. He'd have to hit outrageous shots, and Alfia is equal to it. I feel like this is a rough day for Zekken. The amount of times we've seen him called out is brutal for a player of his caliber. The coordination and the game plan just helping all of the Fnatic players stay on the same page a little more than Sentinels, who we've seen players get caught out and not be able to find the value.
Yeah.
No force buy either from Sen, so they're just accepting that Fnatic are going to go up 8-6.
Playing it safe, heavy presence from them in towards mid, but Fnatic, a great opener there, claiming that pistol round. You can see this in that. Gonna be that dash engage, updraft up over the top. So Doka looking to try and create some space, but Sentinels are not wasting any time. Already making sure that they can fight them. Gonna be a swing attempt now through into main. Jiggle of the movement there, but Boaster not really being baited out too much, and a shot to the chest will do it just from the Marshal in that moment, cleaning up these players one after another. Working towards building those ultimates.
I want to talk a little bit about how these compositions work, though, because Sentinel's comp is going to focus really heavy on mid control. They're going to have Astropols, Viper Walls, you know, nades, so much stuff. Fnatic are probably not going to be able to get mid control very often, but I don't think they need it. The double duelist compositions excel at bursting out through one of the choke points really quickly and applying a lot of pressure to the anchors. So both teams have slightly different goals in terms of which area of the map they want to control. And this is going to be our first test. And Sentinels, they've got to come out on top here if they want a chance at continuing in this bracket. This was their map pick.
This is the one they have to win out, but Fnatic would love to close this out in 2. Early obstacle for them in the entirety of Lock-in, and we've talked about the hopes and dreams of this Fnatic squad, this Fnatic team, including Boaster. This guy who's just had his eyes on a trophy for so long.
That is a really nice timing on the wall from Tenz. Like I said, Fnatic want to burst through the choke points, and they were just starting to group up on A. I think they actually could do the same thing again, though. All get close, Leo walls up, and then they explode off the back of that. We'll see what choice they end up making.
Looks like that's the plan. Not making any noise. Oh.
If they do go for that, look how much pressure that's going to put on Sassy.
And spotted out. Here's the wall go up. Sassy has to back away from this one. Quick dash up there onto Flowers, and Durka nails the shots.
I think Durka was the only person on the wall. He had to win that.
Win it he does. Site's going to be claimed now for Fnatic. What an opener for them. Sentinels left grasping in this one. How do you try and salvage this situation? Do have positioning onto A ramp. You've got to clear through all this utility. Screens also is there for them. And look at Alpha. Great position for him. Ducking underneath this one. Trip is very nice. Wow. And Alpha just has the precise positioning. Second just cannot catch a break right now. And layers on layers. That crosshair placement. Just amazing for this. And Sentinel's forced to save. You just have to back away. You need to keep the rifles moving into the next one. But steadily, feels like this map in this series might just be falling away, crumbling beneath them.
Fnatic winning the bonus round is massive for them. They're going to have a ballooning economy. Sentinels are put up against the ropes here. And their defensive game plan fell apart because Fnatic have the ability to get up, over, and around that wall. The wall is supposed to give them some semblance of control in A main and allow them to rotate their players off to the other side of the map. But when Fnatic is so happy to just use their own wall to get over it, or, you know, updraft dash, blast pack, whatever, they have so many tools to be able to get around that obstacle that it means Tenz's utility is not quite as useful as it otherwise would be against other teams, other comps. Def is going to be hard-pressed to come up with an answer to this.
Timeout being taken.
By 9-6, bro.
Looking for answers from the coach as well.
I mean, this is a good timing for it as well. It looks like Fnatic are sailing away with the potential win here on their map pick.
And the most important thing is that the Sentinels players are in position to receive Durka. I would normally say Durka and Chronicle, but Chronicle hasn't been playing that aggressively on the attack side yet. Durka is way out in front. If they can shut down Durka with good anchoring, a smoke, a pull, whatever utility you want to put in there, but be ready to receive him. If they can shut down Durka, they'll rip off the tip of the spear, and Fnatic are going to be a bit stunted on these pushes. But I think that's a lot to ask. Durka has been in unbelievable form in this series so far. He's currently 18-8.
He's been a true difference maker. One away from that ultimate as well, but you are right. It's going to be the key for them. Putting a stop to these dash engages, finding a way around it.
And a lot of the time, that is going to mean that Sentinels need to give space. When Fnatic invest really heavily, they need to walk backwards and absorb some of that aggression. Alpha is looking to absorb aggression over at A main right now.
Oh, trying to take the fight there, Sassy. A wider swing, but just a weapon not good enough for it. Sheriff in play, and that's an instant answer. Look at this from Fnatic.
A good mid-round call.
Yeah, players swarming that position. Neurotheft going to be giving great information as well. On top of this, and while Zekin tries to reposition, he's just caught out in the open.
That's actually Alfier's ultimate, giving them that kill.
Tenz might try and make a play though. Trying to go for that crouch jump onto the corner. Definitely possible in some circumstances, but the weaponry is just so poor right now for Sentinels.
Yeah, and Def and Pancada need to save here, or they need to save at least one of the rifles. Pancada actually can buy into the next. So maybe he's just trying to keep the Fnatic economy under wraps, but Fnatic are going to be looking to buy for a long time yet.
Yeah, this is them.
You can't do too much damage.
I mean, sailing away with the game. The map and the game. You nailed the jump peek then, Tenz, but tries to go for a cheeky little peek there, maybe rip a head off, but...
Leo might die. Oh no, he just gets away. Safe in his corner. And that is not even a set plan from Fnatic at all, right? That is Boaster making a mid-round call that, all right, they're getting aggressive on A. We're set up to punish them with Durka and Alpha, yeah. So now there's going to be an opening. Let's exploit that. I like the balance of set stuff with the mid-rounding that Fnatic's bringing out.
I could be wrong, but Durka, I'm pretty sure, just activated his ultimate by mistake there as well.
What, at the end of the round? Oh yeah, it's gone.
He did. Yeah.
Okay.
The right click.
No worries.
But okay.
They don't need it.
Listen, they're ahead already. 4 rounds. Why not? Adjustment made though. Sentinels. It's going to be the Satchels working their way forwards. Fnatic trying to gain control of this. Slow orb at the feet. The players in a choke point. This wall is so interesting. What a...
planted. One enemy remaining.
भाई 1v2 क्या उसने
One enemy remaining.
1v2 कर दिया भाई
Surrounded by minha família. We won't lose.
बीच में ऑडी जा रहे हैं
Can't use that yet. Flawless. That should work. Should I play some stars in this reality? Right there. About there.
now as well. Apologies for that one. Pancada left into that 1v3. Has to find his kill onto Durka. Low enough. Single bullet might have done it. But he's just so alone right now. And he's been surrounded on every single side. The time pressure just too much. And a heartbreaking moment for Pancada, forced to just back away from the fight. Not a chance in hell, and it leaves no room for error now for Sentinels. With this Fnatic claiming that 12th round on the board for them. Map and series point within their grasp.
So many chances to convert this too. Fnatic completely in control. Durka sat at 23-11. Sentinels forced to take a timeout. Pancada with a massive ultimate to work with, but they're always up against the ropes. One round away from being eliminated in the first round of the Omega bracket.
And it's rough, isn't it?
We knew that one of these teams would be going home. It's no shock. That's what happens when two heavy hitters face each other in single elimination. But the manner in which it's happened, there's been a bit of a gulf in this match between the preparation levels and the teamwork and the individual level of Fnatic and what people were hoping for from Sentinels.
Fnatic performing at this kind of level as well. I mean, Leo playing in isolation.
Yeah.
Not even really at 100%, you could argue.
But he was great map 1, and he's been there when his team needs him map 2.
Still holding strong, but this is the final timeout for Sentinel in the second half. It has to be 5 rounds in a row. And as I said earlier, no room for error, no buffer.
Push turbo.
You lose any of these upcoming rounds, and guess what? That's it. You're flying home.
That's a scary position to be in for Sentinels. It's America's super team. And just like the Loud projects of last year, obviously, it's built for the long term. It's built for champions, but they were hoping to make a run here at Lock-In. And they're going to have to pull out something absurd to make that dream a reality.
Early slow orb, need to try and push back the angle. That's that pressure being applied. Even the ultimate there into the back of the side. That's going to be clearing this one, and Boaster sticks it. Paranoia, does he want to open himself up a little bit too wide? Def should punish that indeed. He does. Showstop around the corner. And the swings are there. Good trade in action. But the pressure is more than on right now. Fnatic, they make it nice and even. 3v3. Boombot destroyed. Another nade sailed right past them. And the wall just intersecting, causing all sorts of troubles. And to the back of it, Tenz was just so unaware of this, and a res online. And this is shambolic. Sentinels left in a 2v4, all on Sassy and Zekken. Flash ready. We'll find one of the targets, gets them into the site, but a crossfire and a massive play needs to be made. Showstopper's back, round the corner, Zekken claims 2. The beam down from Sassy, and it's all down to Leo. What a miracle play, what a miracle performance, but Leo, he might just end it. Left down to the 1v1 second, he has to kill him and he won't do it. The hopes and dreams ended in a flash as Sentinels are sent home, and the Fnatic super team are looking primed and ready to continue in Lock-In.
What an insane way for the match to finish. Sentinels did everything they could there, with Sassy and Zekken combining together to make such a winnable 2v4. And it gets shut down, the winning moment from a player, unfortunately not even on the stage. What a game though, and what an opener for Fnatic, showcasing that they are here to win. We said it, Brent, at the beginning of this year, if Boaster can't lift a trophy with this squad, I don't know whether it's ever happening. They are on a hunt, and they mean business.
And our first major obstacle. Massive matchup in the first round of matches against Sentinels, of course. We will have to say goodbye to them. We sent home winning this one, a brutal format, but pressure's on from the get-go. Tense situations, tense matchups between them.
And it is going to be a long-term project. Sentinels are aiming for champs at the end of the year, but they have a fan base that is hungry for results.
And they demand perfection. I would argue that both of these teams' fan bases, Fnatic and Sentinels, they have parallels in that. Really demanding that perfection and demanding that trophy to be lifted. There's one player right at the forefront of that. That's Boaster. You can see him there.
And I've got to be honest with you, I don't know what that celebration was. I mean,
Yeah, could not make that one out. But
Comments on a postcard, send them in with hashtag VCT Lockin. Oh, oh, it's served up on a plate, on a platter. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws for it. But that is a
Booster,
great way
baby,
for Fnatic to begin
booster.
this run. They've carved a bit of a path for themselves now. One of their biggest hurdles look to be Sentinels in the opening round. We'll see just how deep this team can get.
भाई फनाटिक का
That was
ट्रॉफी है
quite
भाई
clean.
लिख
They
के ले
showcased
शरत है भाई
great individual
लाउड भी आंदे
performance.
डीरेक्स भी आंदे मेरे को तो लग रहा है
ACS on split and dominated map 1 as well. And the teamwork, the prep, what they showcased was lovely today.
that's what you'd expect from this Fnatic squad, is that they have that preparation in spades, they have the set plays. What has been lacking in the past of iterations of this roster has been their ability to adapt on the fly. But I think what we witnessed today, honestly, with all the upgrades that Fnatic have made, that doesn't seem to be a problem for them anymore. There were many moments where they were instantly reacting, whether it was a call to wall over the enemy Sage's wall or a showstopper play to try and punish. This team is very quick to react, intelligent across the board, and I mean, just heavy hitters. A scary, scary team heading deeper into this lock-in bracket now.
And for Fnatic, they always seem to be good to make a deep run. You know, they made top 8 at Champs in 2021, 4th at Copenhagen, 6th at Champs this time around as well in 2022. The question really is, how deep can they get? Will at some point they reach a ceiling? Will they run out of the set strategies? All of those questions, the answers are yet to come. We just have to continue watching the Omega bracket play out. But I'm excited.
Yeah, and they did overcome that first major hurdle. Now you can take a vote for your match MVP as well. Scanning that QR code, Chronicle Durka Alfie, many good choices for this one.
I gotta go with Durka though. I mean, he was just an animal, an absolute animal. I do want to give a shout out though to Chronicle too, the best performing player of that Berlin champion team, the Masters 3 winners from last year. He looked immediately great again, slotting straight into this super team.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for the first match of the day, but don't go anywhere. After this, break the desk, breaking it all down, and of course, setting us up for our second match of the day. We'll see you in a few.
सेकेंड मैच ऑफ द नहीं देखना हमको नहीं देखना सेकेंड मैच हमारा जीजी हो गया गाइस चलो गाइस वी गोइंग सेंटिनल्स जीजीस वेल प्लेड अपन जा रहे कल्टीज चलो मिलते हैं अपन बाद में